Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is the Nicholas Prostakis Chelsea Football Channel, and today is the match preview for Chelsea versus Astana at Astana. I think at that point, it's like a night kickoff. It's the middle of the day for us here in the U.S. in the Northeast. However, I think around a 2 o'clock kickoff. I think in the UK, something around those marks. Not sure which one. But this is a game where we're 4-0 so far in the Conference League, and there's been some big news surrounding the Conference League for this game. Chelsea have said that there will be around 11 academy players included in this Conference League fixture, and I think the next two fixtures. The thing is, Chelsea have already guaranteed themselves a spot in the Conference League. I think it's the play-in portion. It's not like the guaranteed you're in qualified portion just yet, but we're almost guaranteeing we're going to be qualified, of course. We've dominated the Conference League so far. But 11 academy players will be involved. So we'll get more into that in just a second. We get over the lineup. We'll talk more about it. But overall, for Astana are currently, I think, getting to almost the end portion of their season in not just in the Conference League, but I think that they start their season a little bit earlier or start at a different time than most European other teams do. I think like in Norway, their season starts in March and ends in like November. So it's a little different, I think, based off seasons and stuff. But for them in Kazakhstan, of course, we're going to Kazakhstan. We're playing it, I think, at their capital for the reasons of the Russia-Ukraine war. I'm almost certain that is like kind of a cause and why we're playing it. I think that they're doing a press conference today, if I'm not mistaken, regarding it. They don't want to do a press conference there. They want to get in and out of that place. Not for the obviously horrible reasons, but they want to do. I think they made it so they're doing it in Surrey, at Cobham, if I'm not mistaken. Almost certain about it, but I think it's around there. But for Astana, they're currently not doing too well. This is a massive game for them in the Conference League. If they want to stay in this competition, it's almost unnecessary. They need to win this one. If they were to lose this one, their chances do slip up a little bit because they are, I think, 23rd out of the 24 qualification spots. So this is a massive game for them. Of course, they're at home. And like I was going to say earlier, they are second, I think. They're not even in first in the Kazakh first division. So they technically, by their standards, I don't think that's good. I'm not sure how many qualification spots are in the Kazakhstan league. Like, you know how like Premier League has like I think 7 guaranteed spots. They must only have 2 or 3 spots to qualify for European competition, and then you might not even be qualifying straight into a competition. They probably, in their league and how their competition works, they probably can't qualify straight into a competition, if I had to guess. Like, they probably have to play through certain phases and certain rounds to get qualified into competitions. So this is a massive game for them if they want to improve that in their coefficient rankings and stuff. So this is a big game for them, and they're not going to take it lightly. And from what it seems like, Chelsea might be taking it really lightly, and we might be starting to see the favoritism in the Premier League, but I think that was the case all along. But this is going to be an interesting game to see what happens. I have high hopes for the youngsters, so let's get into the lineup and see who I picked. So this is the lineup I've gone for this game. It's going to be, for me, Jorgensen in net, Vega at left back, Tosin, Disasi, Malo Gusto, Cesare Casere, Dewsbury Hall, Mudryk, Nkunku, Tyreek George, and Mark Guiu up top. So before we get into the overall lineup, I first want to talk about what we saw in releases, I think with news releases from today. They had talked about how 11 Chelsea academy players were going to be included in this lineup. Of course, I put this lineup out because I can't replace every single player with an academy player. Of course, I have put in Tyreek George, who I think I'm almost putting it in. I really guarantee he is going to start today, Tyreek George, or it's not today, on Thursday. I really think they really will give him a shot. He's already gotten a start against Noah. I can definitely see him getting a start in the Conference League once again against Astana. However, if we are going to see debuts as starters in this lineup, I think we will see maybe guys like Keanu George. I think we might see Raksaki come in. Maybe, I'd say maybe Shimi Mueka can come in at striker. That one's a bit of a stretch, though. Maybe someone like Donnell McNeely can come in. Maybe, I forget the left back's name. We got him from Everton last year. I forgot his name, but there's a chance maybe him. I know Richard Olise is going to be included in the lineup, so we might see him play right back. So I can't put them in the lineup here, but there's definitely a chance we could see them included. So a bunch of those youth guys definitely in the lineup, definitely going to get debuts, and this is a really good chance to do it. But as well, before we get in, these guys are going to be competing at a very, very cold temperature. They said the game's going to be played when it's negative 11 degrees outside. What horrible temperatures. What a horrible time for these youth academy guys to be getting their debuts. Like, you're being serious. It could be a tougher game. These guys are used to be playing in these colder temperatures on a daily basis. We're not, and especially those youth academy guys aren't. So we'll have to see how many of them get included in the actual first team lineup and maybe off the bench as the game goes on. But hopefully we're ahead to the point where we can make the subs for those guys and get some well-needed rest for some other guys that are playing or played multiple games last week. So that's the first order of business. So let's get into the actual lineup. So Jorgensen and net. I have said that I want to see him get more playing time in the Prem. I don't think it's going to happen as soon as this weekend. I think Sanchez will play again. So I think Jorgensen stays in net, and he's been great the last few games. He stayed in net. So I think Jorgensen's up to have another big game. I don't know how many shots he'll possibly see, but I think it's definitely possible that he has another good showing, and he really just keeps proving that Maresca needs to replace Sanchez in net. Vega at left back, not been a fan of his recent few games, but in these Conference League games, he's looked very, very good, and around the playing time that he needs to be getting is definitely here in the Conference League. So if Vega can keep playing there, all good to him. Tosin and Disasi, both at center back. They both didn't play on the weekend. I am almost certain they did both play in the Southampton game midweek, so I can't see them both playing a week from, it'd be an exact week apart, so that it would almost make too much sense to see them playing. I have Gusto playing right back. It really might be Richard Olise playing right back. We'll have to see. I don't have Ashley Impong involved because I don't know if he's going to be included. There's a chance he could be included, but the contract still hasn't been done yet. And games like on Thursday, Ashley Impong would need to be included, but because of the contract situation, he hasn't. I have Gusto in for now. It could easily be Disasi and somebody else playing that position, but I have Gusto in for now. He's been great. I honestly want to see him playing on Sunday, but we'll see what happens. We have Casade back in midfield. There's a lot of speculation he's going to be bought by an Italian club in January. We will have to see how true they are, and maybe we'll be bringing back someone like Leslie Ogochukwu or Andre Santos. I'm not sure we can bring back Andre Santos, but we'll have to see what we do in the midfield. I want to see Casade play again, and though he's been pretty decent in that midfield role so far in the Conference League games. Dewsbury Hall, he needs to prove more in these Conference League games. He's looked pretty good in them, but he hasn't gotten enough playing time, especially in the league, to warrant starts. So these Conference League games are really important for him to try and make up ground on other positions. Mudryk on the left, he wasn't involved in the Southampton game like I wanted him to because I think they said he was ill, which stunk because I think he would have played in that game. He obviously didn't get included at all in the lineup for the game against Tottenham, which is another game where I really thought he was going to play. I think they said he was still ill for that one, so he was ill for 2 games. He could as well come back into this game or in Astana. It's almost like he needs to get a start here against Astana. If he can't get a game start against Astana, then he might be cooked. And Kuku comes in at Cam. Easily could be Joao Felix as well. It might be a youth academy player, but I think we will see a little bit more quality play. I don't think we can play that many youth players. I think Astana against our U21 team is going to be a decent matchup, but at the same time, it's a little bit closer of a game if we do that. Tyree George I have on the right-hand side. Now, I want Tyree George to show me something. This is a really important game for his development. There's definitely a chance we could see him loaned out, but I would rather see him keep playing U21. And for us, of course, our winger positions are so stacked that for a player like him, it's going to be hard for him to get involved in our lineup. So if he could take his chances when he is given them, it's going to be really important for him to do that. We have William Esteval coming in. We have Kendry Payash who don't play on that side, but the fact is we have more players like them, coming up. We have players like Neto and already Nani here who have played well this season. So it just keeps getting stronger and stronger at the winger positions and stuff. So he can't afford to mess up. And Mark Guillou up top, he's played, I think, the last 2 Conference League games. He's looked pretty decent in both of them. Hasn't really been able to take his chances well in both of them. So he's got to be able to find his finishing boots and hopefully get himself a goal in this one. So that's it for the lineup. So, but what am I really looking forward to in this one? Of course, everybody's looking forward to seeing all the academy players. Everybody loves to see academy players play in games, and I'm one of them. I truly am one of them. I believe in this Chelsea Academy. It's one of the best in the world. We produce some of the best players in the world. I mean, there's a reason they show like the graphics where you see all the players who came through the Chelsea Academy and move on to better things. Because sometimes, yes, we make the wrong decision, but at the same time, you can't deny that we develop absolutely wonderful world class players. It's just what happened at this team. It's just about holding on to them, and we need to do that more often. That's why I was very upset when we let Rio Ignoma go to Liverpool. So that's one thing I am very upset with about. But at the end of the day, I really am excited to see what we can get out of some of these academy talents here for the conference league. I'm very intrigued to see what they do for us. But elsewise, so for that, I think I'm very excited. Really good. I love these midweek games. I love that they're back. Don't have to wait too many games, of course, because we'll have to wait, I think, 3 days for this conference league game, and then another 3 days. No, it's actually, yeah, it is 3 days until the weekend. We get to play again on Sunday. So if I had to do score predictions for this game, I think we'll win 3-1. I think it won't be a demolishing for the reason that it's going to be cold temperatures. I think that we're going to have a lot of rotation. Might be playing a lot of academy players, of course. So I think we'll win 3-1 in Kazakhstan. I think we'll see goal scorers of Mark Guiu. I'd love to say Tyreek George. I would love to see him get on the score sheet. I will say he gets on the score sheet. I'll say Guiu, Tyreek George, and Dewsbury Hall. I think he might get a goal in this one. I think those will be our 3 goal scorers. I think it'll be a good game all around. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out other socials. Nicholas Prostakis, CFC on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.